Well, a good Thursday morning, my Weathered Soul friends. This is Bruce the Weathered Soul, and you got me on the morning drive. It's a beautiful Thursday out. I'm on my way to work. I got a little bit to say. Didn't say a whole bunch yesterday. I actually recorded a segment to go on, but, you know, I used a couple of names, and I didn't feel like getting sued, so I decided to post Brian McWilliams' Electric Liberty Land episode in lieu of my commentary for yesterday, because you know what, this is getting ridiculous, folks. This rhetoric out there about what's going on with the Trump impeachment, about the quote insurrection, which was freaking, you can call it what you will, I don't care. I don't call it insurrection. I call it an interruption. I call it a bunch of people pissed off about what's going on in this world and what's going on in our country. And whether you support Trump or not, we got a crisis going on, guys. And it ain't left or right. It's a crisis. It's a war from the government to you. Okay? That's a big, that is a fact. But I don't want to talk about that this morning. What I want to talk about is the over 900,000 people that signed up for unemployment this month. That's a huge number. 900,000, more than 900,000 actually. 900,000 people signed up for unemployment. That's a huge number. And what makes that number significant is the fact that this is going to get worse, guys. This is the failed policy of the government trying to get you, not only, number one, picking winners and losers, because we all know that there's essential people that are going to work. I'm going to work. I'm not a quote essential person, but my company has made it to a point where they have made us essential, so I get to go to work. I've missed a day of work since this thing started. But a lot of people have lost work because of the government shut down the economy. And it wasn't shut down by the economy by chance. This is shut down by the economy by pure a need to have control over you. Okay? Why can't I go into a mom and pop supermarket, but I can go into Costco? Why can't I go get my hair cut? Why can't my wife go get her nails done? Or the kids, actually I saw kids at the park the other day. Not because the park was open, because the mother sneaked them in there to let them play. See, so the stuff is unraveling, and you say, oh my gosh, we're killing grandma. We're killing grandma if we go to the park. No, you're not. No, you're not. Grandma should be smart enough to isolate herself if she happens to be in the harm's way. And then your personal responsibility to your mom is to stay away from her if you've been exposed to COVID. Oh, well, Bruce, I don't know if I've been exposed to COVID. Well, you know what? That's because you've been fed a bunch of propaganda that says asymptomatic people can carry the virus. I've got a study, and you have a study. I have a study, and you have a study. You have a study that says that asymptomatic people can carry the virus around and give it to people. I have a study that says that your stuff is bullshit. Okay? So there's no science. There's no science that is supporting these lockdowns. There's no science that's supporting the effectiveness of masks. There's no science supporting any of this crap that's been going on. In fact, the CDC and the WHO threw out the book on pandemic response as soon as this pandemic came into play. And they adopted the Chinese version, because the quiet Chinese version, they're partying in the streets. It's all propaganda. It's all bullshit. It's all the stuff that you're listening to on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. It's all bullshit. It's all designed to control you. You need to go get your sources somewhere else. You need to get your face out of the tube. I'm talking to my wife. I'm talking to my daughter right now, because they're part of the problem right now. I love them to death. They are my family. I love them, but they're part of the problem. They've sucked into the propaganda, not only on the coronavirus, but on Trump, on the economy, and on everything. They don't believe that the government is the reason why we're here right now. It's not Trump. It's not Trump. Trump is just an instrument of what went on. Trump was a failed policy by his own nature. He cooked his own goose, because he didn't have the articulation to be able to sway the American people's opinion. He's got tens and millions of people that are screaming that there's an election fraud. Not because he lost, because there's election fraud, guys. Pure and simple. And the courts chose to ignore it because the establishment told them to ignore it, or else. Same thing's going on with social media, guys. People are telling you to ignore people like me, people like Ron Paul, other people that probably should be ignored, but should have this free speech to go ahead and say whatever they want, whenever they want to. Oh, well, Facebook is a private industry. It's not a private platform. Sorry. They're in cahoots with the government. That's pure and simple. Pure and simple. You start getting colluded with the government and stuff like that, then you are part of the government. When they tell you that you have to do this and you have to do that, you are part of the government. Period. Not in a good mood. Not this week. In fact, I haven't been in a good mood in a couple of weeks. The only good mood I've been in is the fact that I get to go to work and I get to work my businesses, and I get to bring happiness and joy to people who do the plant-based supplements and probiotics and some of my other podcasts that I do for Bruce for Liberty and the new one coming up tonight, which is In the Pit of My Stomach, a new episode. Those are the things that make me happy. But in general, for what's going on in my country and what's going on with this government, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And a lot of you out there that are listening are part of the freaking problem. Yeah, you are. You think about what you do, what you post, how you post it, and the intent behind it. Yeah. I didn't name any names today, but you know who you are. I drew my line in the sand, and if you don't see me, there's a reason why you don't see me. The reason why I ain't hanging out, there's a reason why I'm not hanging out. So I drew a line in the sand. You can block me, you can unfriend me, you can unfollow me, but the fact remains that there's truth out there. There's truth and there's fact, and it goes against everything that you think that you believe, and everything that you stand for. Because if you worship the state, don't be surprised when the state throws you under the bus. This is Bruce for Liberty. Be free. Not as free as they permit, but as free as you can get away with. Have a great Thursday.